Let's take another question. Karen Lilliman, please. Karen Lilliman.
Will the proposed changes to the national curriculum stifle creativity and hinder the development of critical thinking?
The proposed changes to the national curriculum, obviously by the Minister on my right here, which cover a variety of things, will they stifle creativity and hinder the development of critical thinking? I obviously won't start with you. I'll go to Anthony Horowitz first.
A worrying question, this, because I would feel that the fastest way for me to lose friends in the schools I visit and to have my books disappear off the shelves is to offer any measure of support for the Secretary of State. But that said, I do support quite a lot of what he's going on about, I think, insofar as I understand it. I certainly am not an enemy of academic rigour, and I agree with him on a great many of his statements about spelling, punctuation, grammar, multiplication tables and all these things, which I think are the questioner is saying these are the things that stifle creativity. But I do believe, along with the American educationalist E.D. Hirsch, he talked a lot about cultural literacy, I'm sure you're very acquainted with this, that we have to start from somewhere. If you're going to have creativity and you're going to have imagination, you have to have a reservoir of facts. Now, those facts can be disputed. I know, for example, on the history syllabus, everybody is arguing about what actually the history we learn should be. But the fact is, if we don't start on an even playing field, and that means rote, and it does mean all these sort of rather dreary things that I did at school as well, you're not going to have the creativity and the imagination to build on from there. So, although I think that Mr. Gove is occasionally a little bit too backward-looking in his attitude, and does tend to take a view of education that is buried a little bit in the 70s and even the 60s. I think by and large...
in what way does he do
certainly in the multiplication, in the language thing. When you say that every child should learn a language at the age of 7, that's a very, very noble aspiration. But I was in a school last week, a very good school in East London, where actually they already spoke 60 languages. The trouble was, they all spoke different languages, and the language they needed to talk, really, was English. That was the one that they should have been concentrating on. So in some aspects, your view is a little bit rosy-tinted, but by and large, no, I don't think the national curriculum is stifling it. I think it is merely providing a basis for it.
All right. Natalie Bennett.